I've been told that 35-inch tires will fit on a completely stock Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, but there is a difference between tires fitting on the road and tires fitting off the road. So today I'm at Commonwealth 4x4 in Winchester, Kentucky. We're getting ready to mount some tires, and then I'm gonna head out and test them and make sure they actually fit off-road. The tires we've gone with for the Jeep are the Toyo RT Trails, and I like to think of these as like a hybrid. Obviously you've got the AT3s, which they're all-terrains, then you have the mud terrains, and then halfway between those two they have the Toyo RTs, which are their regular hybrids. Then they've just released these ones which fall between the all-terrain and the RTs. So like I say, like hybrid, leaning more towards the all-terrain side. The wheels they are mounting those to are these from Method. These ones were my wife's choice. She went with the bronze, and it looks really good with the green, so she made a really good choice there. And she wanted the bead grip wheels. That's what I have on my Tundra. They've been really good for airing down low. I've been down to single digits for snow and for sand. And the bead grip technology basically gives you this little barbed area here and then the oversized safety hump that holds the bead of the tire on even at low pressures. Downside to that is it makes it really difficult to mount the tires to the wheel. We actually got a discount on these, so if you are looking to get your own methods, I can actually share that discount with you. If you go to methodracewheels.com/Revere Overland, they've got a 20% off coupon that you can sign up for there. And I'll put a link in the description for you as well.
Perms are expensive these days, you gotta protect them.
Do you like that they come with free?
Heck yeah, I've got a hairnet
now. When you go to camp and you need to shower at the communal showers.
Free with all Method wheels.
Yeah,
Show us, do a twirl.
All right, we got all the tires mounted, and now it's time to balance them.
Tires are on, they're mounted, they're balanced. Jeep is up on the lift, so we're getting ready to put them on. Here, will you make sure those center caps are ground level?
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Okay, let's rotate tire here. There, that bubble looks close enough for government work. And
sweet. So when you go to most of these tire shops, for some reason, when they're tightening down your lug nuts, they go to like, I don't know, 5 ugga-duggas. Here, they're using these things. These are little torque sticks, which are really cool. And they're using one that's just lower than the spec, the torque spec for these wheels. And then they're tightening down at the end with a torque wrench. So they're actually doing it properly here, but they still get to do the ugga-duggas. All right, we just got finished up and the wheels look fantastic. 35s look like they fit and like they belong on the stock height Rubicon. So I'm really happy with those. The other thing is to test it out. So first thing tomorrow morning, gonna go take it out and see how it does. To test out the new setup, we are out in southern Kentucky. We camped here last night next to a beautiful little creek that gave me some great white noise to fall asleep to. And I'm here with my friends Andreas and Jeremy, and we're getting ready to head out to the trails here. And there's a good variety of trails in southern Kentucky. A lot of them have a very soft and sticky clay or mud, which is going to be great for testing the clearing on the tread pattern on here. And I think we're also going to come across some quite rutted trails later, which has me questioning the clearance, and if we can find something that twists the axles a little bit. I am not sure whether or not I'm going to rub in the front. In fact, I'm kind of convinced I will. So we'll find out. Let's pack up the tent and we'll head out. The morning's trail had started out easy, following the beautiful creek with multiple crossings, then climbing up over an abandoned coal mine before heading east through the Cumberland Gap. We just crossed over into Virginia, and our goal is to make it to the top of the cliffs that are off to the left. To get to the cliffs, you start on an easy hill climb to the top of a ridge that borders Kentucky and Virginia. At the top, the trail immediately falls apart, with large rock obstacles and deep mud pits. Not 200 yards in, Andreas got stuck coming out of one of those mud pits. Well, Andreas made it through 1, 2, and a half mud puddles before he needed to pull the winch. Probably not a good sign.
Where'd you find those?
Andreas's water hole.
He's on his rear diff.
About a third of the way along the 4-mile ridgeline, we were held up by a particularly difficult obstacle. On the 4th attempt, we figured out the line.
In the hit. I'm about to raise up. Let's get on the back. On that line, come on, you're good. Oh, stay on that line, just hook the rock and go. You're good.
Well, that was definitely the toughest thing that I have ever done in that Jeep. And at the very end, when I was full lock to the passenger side to the right, the left side tire, the driver's side tire, was completely stuffed, and it did rub a little bit. We're about a third of the way to the cliffs now. It's about 2 o'clock, so I'm hoping there's some nice places to camp up there. Coming down that last little bit where it got really flexy, I was also rubbing in the back, just a little bit again, in the wheel arch. Nice big whale.
That's fine. Damn, that's noisy.
Further on, we came up against what looked like the most daunting obstacle of the trail. Of course, on the camera, it looks like nothing.
Start straightening them up. As you roll, just as you roll, straighten them up. You're good. You're down now. Right there. Stay right there. Come on.
Coming up that last obstacle, Jeremy hit so hard. I'm not gonna do that in the Jeep. There is a bypass, so we're gonna go walk that now and see how that looks. Yeah, the bypass is easy, so Andreas is already heading up this way. It's the way I'm coming. I'm not risking Elizabeth's Jeep, my wife's Jeep, to do that obstacle. Finally, after several hours, a little winching, a lot of spotting, a few more Tacoma diff scrapes, and the sun setting, we reached the end of the trail where we'd be camping for the night.
Thinking we made it.
Yeah, take a look.
Yeah.
A little overlooked.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Well, it's about 5:30 and we finally made it up to the overlook. Took a lot longer than we figured it would because the trail was, there was a lot more obstacles than we were expecting, but it is not a bad view up here. I wasn't supposed to do this until about noon today, but it is currently very lightly raining, and it has been raining on and off all night. We actually had a good solid storm come through at about 1 a.m. and unfortunately that is going to make these trails a little more challenging. They were already wet and very slick with the clay, but I think on the way out it's going to be even worse now. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have to pull cable, especially up a couple of the hills. So it may end up being kind of slow going, which is bad, because that line of storms that was supposed to come in at noon, or actually is still coming in at noon, is a very strong line of storms, and there's a bunch of tornado watches, a couple of tornado warnings with it right now further west. So we want to be down off this mountain before that hits. So we're going to pack up quickly, have a quick bite to eat, and then head back down the trail. We quickly learned that the rain had indeed made things very slick. Coming up that last obstacle, I scratched up the brand new wheels on my wife's Jeep pretty bad, the ones that she picked out. So don't tell her. Maybe she won't notice. Right now you can't tell because the mud is the same color as the wheels, but it's pretty bad. But I think that's something that's going to happen to these wheels sooner or later. It's just a shame that I was the one that scratched them and not her, because she hasn't even taken this out with the new wheels and tires yet.
This wheelbase may be just enough for you to
Yeah.
climb both places at once.
How do you do it?
This is a sexy shot.
He did not get up on the hill though. He did not follow our lead at all.
Was he on? He needs to, yeah.
They make it anyway. Yeah, don't follow him.
You know it's a tough trail when spare parts are left down by the side.
Yeah, he's on too high.
Oh wow, you got really high on that one.
Yeah.
Unnecessarily high.
Well, we made it off the mountain before the rain hit, and actually looking at the radar, looks like it's about another hour before those come in. So we're gonna air up, we're gonna head across east towards West Virginia, and hopefully find a place to eat along the way. And while we're eating, what would be ideal is the worst of the storms pass. Time for some final thoughts. The Jeep itself was flawless. What it lacks in on-road manners, it more than makes up for off-road. I'm used to driving a full-size truck, so I was nervous about several of the obstacles that we were taking on, but the Jeep walked up every single one of them without any drama. Obviously, 35s don't fit on the JLU Rubicon off-road. On the road, it's no issue, but as soon as you get any kind of flex, they rub. My only other issue was the lack of clearance, and I was dragging the crossmember several times. Both of those problems should be solved soon thanks to a lift from Clayton Off-Road and Elka suspension that's getting put on here at CW 4x4. Finally, there's the tires. My first impressions are that they are fantastic, although I don't think it's fair to draw any conclusions yet. The road noise wasn't noticeable, but I'm driving a Jeep where you can't hear any road noise because the wind noise, especially with the rooftop tent on the top, is horrendous. They were super grippy off-road, but again, I was in a Jeep that is really, really capable, and it's the first time I've ever driven this, so I don't have anything to compare these to. One thing I did notice is that the tread pattern on these did actually clear the mud really, really well, better than the tires on the other two vehicles there. There was the KO2s on Andreas's Tacoma, and they were just constantly slick the whole time, and these did do slightly better than the KM3s on Jeremy's Land Cruiser, but these are brand new, whereas he has about 20,000 miles on his. I'll be putting a set of these tires on my Toyota Tundra as well, and I think that that'll allow me to offer a better and fairer comparison, so I'll do a full review on them once I have them on the Tundra. If you enjoyed this video, definitely subscribe to the channel. My goal is to make it to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I think with your help, it's completely possible. So if you enjoyed the Jeep content or the off-roading content, or you want to see some of the Tundra content, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching.